Hey, Carl, what is your favorite ice cream? Do you have a favorite ice cream? Mine is
Yeah.
Neapolitan. Mine is Neapolitan. I have to admit that's
Yeah.
my favorite.
Well, you know what? I don't know. I just my favorite is ice cream. It's ice cream. But you know what? I got to admit, I do really love Neapolitan. I really do. But I mean, there's so many awesome flavors out there now,
Right,
and various mixtures, and there are very few. The only one that I have is not a super duper favorite of mine, and most people are going to die when they hear me say this. It's cookie dough, and the reason is here's the reason. I love the flavor of the ice cream. It's just that after 2 or 3 of those balls of cookie dough, they're so sweet. JC's in here shaking his head. He agrees with me. I know people are absolutely nuts about that flavor, but I'm telling you, I cannot handle more than a couple of those little cookie dough balls before it's like, oh my gosh, that's just too sweet. But the ice cream, so what I do is I pick the cookie dough balls out and eat the ice cream because I do love the flavor. But anyway, other than that, I haven't met an ice cream yet that I don't like.
Well, I agree with you. I don't think I've ever had the cookie dough ice cream. We have to try that.
Yeah.
See how that goes down. But the reason I bring that up is because now we know what Bill Nye, the pervert guy's favorite ice cream is. Bill Nye's favorite ice cream is Sodom and Gomorrah. That is his favorite ice cream, as evidenced in his latest video. Because Bill Nye has a new TV show. I know that it's on Netflix and elsewhere. It's called Bill Nye Saves the World.
Yep.
Bill Nye Saves the World. And in this show recently, and this popped up on Drudge. I don't watch the show. I don't have time for that kind of nonsense. But this popped up on Drudge, actually. It was one of his headlines. That Bill Nye uses ice cream flavors to teach, sex ed, right? Mm-hmm. And we're going to clean this up as much as we can here. But essentially, and that prompted me to go to this link and watch this nonsense so that I can be properly educated on this, because everybody was talking about it for about 10 minutes. So there's Bill Nye. He says that he's got this new cartoon, and here you go. So he plays this cartoon, and here's this chocolate ice cream cone. They're in cones, and vanilla is there, preaching to all these other different flavors about how they need to, keep it pure, that they should all be vanilla, that they should give up their individual flavors and just be vanilla. And this is a sex ed video, by the way. They should all give up their individual flavors and just be vanilla like he is. Mm-hmm. Like the giant ice cream cone in the sky wants them to be. Mm-hmm. And he's preaching this message to them, and they're all gathered. One of them is crying hysterically that he has to give up his particular flavor, and he's very effeminate in his actions, and others are more militant. And then one comes along with multiple flavors. I think it was mint chocolate. She comes along and says, no, I am what I am. That's what I am, right? Mm-hmm. And then they finally convince Vanilla to just try it out and see how it goes. And Vanilla does give it a taste, and next thing you know, where are they? They're all in the hot tub having an orgy. Okay, this is on Bill Nye's show. Mm-hmm. Bill Nye's show. Now, how does Bill Nye... Now, I look at this, and I say, okay, Bill Nye, as disgusting as all this is, and there's another element here...
And isn't this aimed at children, basically? I mean, sure it is. I mean, who else would they be trying to teach, huh?
Right, aimed at children. There's another character in the cartoon I want to bring up in a second here that was very disturbing to me. Okay, but before I get to that, I just want to say that Bill Nye in doing this is actually fulfilling on two fronts ancient Bible prophecy.
Yeah.
Because didn't Jesus himself say that at the time of the end, at the end time in the last days, it will be just like this?
Yes.
It will be just like it
Luke
was
17.
in the days of Noah. Right, as it was in the days of Noah. And what was it like? Now, you have to know the context here. If you go back and learn about the days of Noah, it says, in the days of Noah, the thoughts and actions of men were evil continuously, right? And in the days of Lot, we have Lot, these men, these two angels come into Lot's house, and these men of the city, they come, give him to us so that we can be with him, so that we can lay with him. It depends on the translation you read. But here we have exactly what is portrayed in this cartoon. Here's this guy saying, look, like you guys, there is a normal way of acting here, and you guys ain't doing it. And they eventually say, no, you've got to come to us. You've got to be like us. You've got to accept what we do. We don't accept you and the giant ice cream cone in the sky. You have to accept us. Oh, and by the way, you have to be like us. You have to come and do what we're doing, right? And there's another front here. The Bible says that in the last days, scoffers will come, saying, where is this coming that you have been? Is genuinely falls into that category of scoffer and mocker. We all saw him in the great Ken Ham debate. I mean, the guy's a mocker and a scoffer, and that's basically what he's all about, mocking and scoffing Christianity, Christians, the existence of God, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. But there's another character in that cartoon, Carl. I don't know if you caught this or not, but so they're all in the hot tub. Now, you got to remember, all of these ice cream cones, they are personifications of people. They represent people, right?
Right.
And people's sexual proclivities, sexual preferences. They all represent people. Next thing you know, there's this other character that's thrown into the mix. They're all in the hot tub, and one of them points off in the distance and said, okay, you bag of nuts, you come in and join us. Now I got a question for you. Who's the bag of nuts? If all the ice cream cones represent people, adults making their own personal choices, what's with the bag of nuts? Who's the bag of... Next thing you know, the bag of nuts jumps in the hot tub and is having, whatever with these ice creem cones. I want to know what's going on with this bag of nuts.
Well, that represents the Democrat Party, brother.
The Democrat Party. Well, does the bag of nuts represent... this is where things go off the rails for me, because he's not clear about who they represent. Do they represent children? Yeah. Do they represent animals?
Right.
What's going on here?
Yeah, absolutely. And we want to keep this PG as possible. I know you do too. But here's the thing. The thing is filth, which is presented as science and enlightenment by Bill Nye, the science guy. And it's perverted. And I'm going to tell you something else I noticed. The vanilla ice cream, now I get it, the metaphor of vanilla, everything's just plain and normal, but the vanilla, of course, is a white dude who believes the truth and who believes in standards, and everybody else is enlightened. The white dude, the vanilla dude, he's the idiot, he's the outsider. So that's one of the things I noticed. I mean, it's just filled with metaphors and nuances and shades of meaning. And like you say, at the very end, here's this bag, it looks like peanuts or something, that jumps in there. What in the world is that? And there's all kinds of things. We can go from a G-rated metaphor to an X-rated metaphor quickly with that. And I think he intended that.
Well, what's amazing is we have Bill Nye on record back when he had the show. He was a much younger man, Bill Nye the Science Guy. He says in his show that chromosomes determine your gender. Yeah. But now he's saying that gender is fluid. It is, it's just whatever direction the wind is blowing. And then we talked about recently how the bones actually say, when they dig up Bruce Jenner 1,000 years from now, they're going to say that was a man. We don't know his name. We don't know what covered these bones, and we don't care, honestly, because the science says this was a male.
All right,
a male.
Let's do this. Let's take our break because it's time, and when we come back, we'll pick it up there because I want to talk about gender fluidity and what happened to the science. Why was it just a few years ago it was continually proclaimed, even by Bill Nye the Science Guy, that, listen, your sexuality is in your chromosomes. It's in the genome. It's in your DNA. It's in your bones. It's in every cell in your body. What changed?
Right.
What changed? Did the human body change? Or did the definition of science change? We'll deal with that when we come back, folks. You're listening Freedom Friday, Carl Gallups with Mike Shoesmith. Don't go anywhere.
Stuck in traffic and sick of normal radio programming?
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Are you serious?
Turn it up.
Personal file. He was giving them the business.
Say what?
Now that's official.
And now, the Commander-in-Chief is back. Freedom Friday with Carl Gallups, the Oval Office of Gulf Coast Talk Radio.
Yeah, all right, welcome back, Gulf Coast. Welcome back, America. Yeah, here live, Freedom Friday, Oval Office, Gulf Coast Talk Radio. Well, listen, I'm going to bring Mike Shoesmith back on in just a moment. Let me just tell you, we were just talking about Bill Nye, the Science Guy, and I know we've got a lot of hits on this already since I put it up, but I wanted to let you know, if you want to see that video that Mike Shoesmith was talking about and or the article, just go to freedomfriday.carlgallups at Facebook, okay? Facebook.com/freedomfriday.carlgallups. Or you can get there from carlgallups.com. There's so many ways you can get there. But it's a live Facebook feed that as we're talking about things, we post the articles. If we talk about a video, we post the video. Sometimes we'll make comments on there for you. You can comment in the comment section, so join us there. Even if you're not a Facebook user, you can still at least, get on the site and see everything that we're there. And I think you can click the links too as well. I'm not certain how that works on Facebook since we have an account. But anyway, Facebook.com, freedomfriday.carlgallups. All right. Now, let me also clue you into this. I'm going to get you to check something out that we've just built in the last day or two. It's called carlgallups.blogspot.com. Okay. And we'll have links up at carlgallups.com, et cetera. But what it is it's going to be a repository page for all things Freedom Friday, because here's the deal. We've got some plans for the future, and we're not at liberty to tell you everything about them. But if, we probably are going to start doing some digital broadcast of Freedom Friday as well, so that it wouldn't be relegated to just 4 to 6 p.m. on Fridays live on WEBY, which we're grateful to WEBY for all of that. But the Freedom Friday brand has become so huge. It's all over the world. People are talking about it. They're joining us all over the world. We're getting emails and posts that we can't even answer. So people are wanting more. So we're probably going to do that. And we're going to do it digitally, and it'll start at carlgallups.com, okay? So just keep track there, and or go to carlgallups.blogspot.com and check it out there. You'll see it when you get there. It's very self-explanatory, very easy to follow. In fact, we've got last week's Freedom Friday podcast up there already. You can download it straight from there into an MP3, or you can listen to it live right there. But today's show will be there sometime tomorrow and from now on into the future. But the other thing is, for example, let's say Freedom Friday is not on the air. Let's say it's preempted by a Florida State football game. All right, that happens in football season on WEBY. Well, guess what? It will be on carlgallups.blogspot.com, and it'll be live. And so that's pretty cool. Plus, we're a Gulf Coast radio station. Let's say a hurricane takes us out for a while, or, some other reason that Freedom Friday is not on WEBY. Whatever. It'll be at carlgallups.com, okay? Or carlgallups.blogspot.com. And so we're thinking of expanding it. We're thinking of making it bigger. We're thinking of making it more ubiquitous. And we may even add some additional radio broadcasts by additional names, do some different kinds of formats. I'm really excited about expanding this whole radio outreach to the world thing, okay? So let's just say a hurricane hit tomorrow, shut the whole radio station down for a week. You say, well, what are we going to do? Go to carlgallups.com. The announcement will be there. Go to carlgallups.blogspot.com, and you can hear everything that we put up on broadcast. You can listen on your smartphone, Android base, or iPhone. It works perfectly, and every browser. It's really, really cool. Okay? All right, let's get back to the lines. Mike Shoesmith. So I'm just going to ask the question, and you give me your opinion. So what happened? Did science change? Because for years, even Bill Nye, the Science Guy, was saying, sexuality is determined by our genetics. It's in the DNA. It's in the genes. It's in the genome. It's in the billions, all of the billions of cells within your body declare whether you're a male or female. And now we know from scientific sources, and we talked about it just last week, that now we understand that forensics scientists can tell from bones that have been in the grave for thousands of years. They can dig up the bones and tell you if that's a male or a female. But yet we have people running around saying, you know what, I'm a male, but I was born, I feel more like a female, so I'm going to change my sex organs, I'm going to change the way I dress, I'm going to put on some makeup, I'm going to wear a dress, and I'm going to declare myself, I'm going to have plastic surgery, and now I'm a female. Yet, every cell in their body says, no, you're a male. And as a matter of fact, 1,000 years from now, when they dig up your bones, it says, this dude was a male. What has changed, Mike?
Well, I think that what has changed is, you teach generations of kids that they're just animals made out of meat and there are no consequences for your actions. Eventually, animals want what animals want. And they start believing this. I mean, it's awesome, right? I can do whatever I want. There are no consequences. But let me just warn people, before you go to Freedom Friday on Facebook and watch that video, just be warned that if you're a reasonable human being, if you're a Spirit-filled Christian, you're going to be disturbed by this. This is going to really bother you a lot. But I want to encourage the listeners to leave just a little bit of room, just a sliver of room for excitement. Excitement. This is I know it's hard to imagine that, but a part of me, Carl, is excited when I see things like this because I know Jesus said to watch me. But when you see all these things happening, know that your redemption is drawing closer and closer. His return is getting nearer and nearer. And I'm sure Derek Gilbert would agree with me on this, that when we see the convergence of prophecy coming together in our generation, in our lifetime, beginning with the return of Israel, I look at all this stuff, we were warned ahead of time that this was going to happen. So let's be properly perturbed about this. Let's be properly incensed about this and angry. But I think there's a level of sin involved when you don't take into consideration the fact that we were warned about this. So let's not be too surprised about this. Be angry, but sin not. Isn't that what the Bible says?
Yeah, something like that.
Let's be properly outraged about this, but let's keep it all in context. This is all going to happen. We are the bulwark against it, but we were warned. This is coming. This is going to happen. Let's do the exploits of Daniel. Let's keep doing the best that we can to shine our light in dark places. But at the end of the day, all this means to me is that we are one day closer to the return of Jesus Christ.
That's some good words, Mike. Hey, tell folks about PNN News and Ministry Network, where they can find us, you, and where they can get a hold of you by email.
Well, we are the PNN Network, ppsimmons at live.com. You can reach us, ppsimmons, everywhere there's an internet connection. We are literally everywhere. Yeah,
we've got a live blog spot that's syndicated. We've got 13 Facebook pages, 2 absolutely viral YouTube sites with multiplied millions of views. Folks, check it out on the internet. Again, carlgallups.com. All the links are right there. It's very easy. carlgallups.blogspot.com. See ya.